Go. Okay, you guys, welcome to the SOS Small Business Success Podcast. I am your host. Welcome aboard, Bonnie Bonadeo. We're all about building brands that survive while developing you to survive and to be able to thrive. And it's, you guys, as we kind of continue to keep progressing further into this year, there's more and more things that we're looking at that seem unstable or that we're questioning, should I be raising my prices? Should I be doing this? Should I be spending money? And there's a lot of questions that you have. And then ultimately in the end, when any client signs up to be able to do some work with me and coaching with me, the questions usually narrow down to this particular category in what I consider to be my SOS framework here, which is, the 5 anchors of success in a small business. And that would be sales, operations, marketing, mindset, and education. And it seems like everybody narrows down to something where they need more support in the one category called marketing. So I'm going to touch on marketing here a little bit, but my guest today is Danielle Hildreth, and she is a multipreneur. I call myself like a solopreneur over and over and over again. So that's actually a better name there, Danielle. Social media expert, educator, customer service expert, marketing professional, you name it. She's got all the goods. And we're going to take the big picture of marketing, and then we're going to kind of narrow it down and talk a little bit about social media today. So today's topic title is the SOS on social media. And the ability to be able to say, oh my gosh, this is truly sometimes a love-hate relationship of social media, right? Now, this is part 3 of a 5-part series that we're doing. So if you missed the first 2 parts, definitely you can listen to those on iTunes, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, just search my name and/or SOS Small Business Success Podcast. And the first episode, we talked about how to be able to increase your sales. The second, we talked about refining operations. And I gave you a list that was part of your homework, was to find 10 areas where you can reduce expenses. Okay, so you know how we increase sales and reduce expenses is how we become more profitable. And today we're going to be talking about how to build a strong brand. And that does require some marketing expertise, but it also then requires us to look at what are the tools in the toolbox of our marketing arena. And Danielle's going to share with us more on the social media side to that. So I started out with saying that marketing is a thin line between love and hate. So we start out like we're very excited, like, oh, I can't wait to market my business, or oh, I want to share this in a marketing aspect. So we know we need to do it, right? And I think that inevitably there's this part of us that wants to do it. We want to promote our business. We want to have our business look good, to the outside world, to our customers, to our team. Then all of a sudden there comes this moment where we realize we have to do it. And when we get to that part where we have to do it, we kind of get lost in the bigness of it, the madness of it, the where do I start? How do I keep it going? I always talk about this from a timer method: time, money, resource, energy, and resources. You have to make time to be able to do some marketing in your business and have it be successful, because consistency is one of the most important features of being a good marketer to your business here. Now, if you guys have been following me along on the first 2 sessions, then you know that I put together kind of the guide to recession-proof your salon. This is available to you. I'll give you the link at some point here, but here's your guide. And then today we're going to talk about the marketing part of it here. So I'm going to go through these 5 things, and then I'm going to reintroduce Miss Danielle to the podcast to be able to talk about social media, since she is the expert on it. And I'll give you guys a little story of our time together on the phone last week as well. So, all right, here's 5 easy ways to be able to build your brand. Now, these are big, broad topics, and no matter what kind of marketing you're doing, they can be narrowed down into this. So the first one is to be values driven. All right. The more that you can kind of personalize your business to your customers, the more connection, the faster trust can be built. So when we say to be values driven, like what you're looking for is that ultimate connection of that ideal client, or what you're offering to your community. Think small in regards to values driven, but your values are usually a very big part of who you are and what your business is about. Number two, go local, be consistent with impressions externally, okay? I think a lot of times what we try to do is we try to we think that numbers are always relevant and important, but what we need to focus in on is the right people seeing the work that we're doing, because you want this to convert. Anything you want to do from marketing, you want it to convert into the potential new customer who's doing a transaction in your business and spending money with you, right? And number three is give them something to talk about. And this is kind of like, you have to take marketing to an internal place as well. We're brick and mortar businesses if we're, a salon or a spa. And with that, you have to be able to say, what are they seeing on the outside when they go online, when they're seeing, my Google My Business, my website, my social media presence. And then when they walk in, is there that connection that's still happening, that synchronicity between the outside and the inside? And then of course, vice versa, is the inside also kind of like really relevant, but then you're not doing a good job of promoting your business outside of in the community. Number four is a strategy campaign. Like anything, you have to have a strategy and you have to kind of look at it from a campaign. In other words, a campaign is saying that you're taking a story and you're sharing parts of a story over a period of time. And listen, we're in a midterm election year. You're seeing this on TV every day. You're watching these politicians who are putting together campaign messaging that's kind of tying to make that emotional connection with you, but also educate you a little bit on why they're the ideal candidate. But what you see is this campaign story that kind of just builds over time. You have to think about your business from that same place. And of course, social media is a great way to be able to do this. And then of course, ultimately you want to be able to track your results, because marketing is a learning curve if you're not really comfortable doing it right now. Social media, it feels like a time waste at times if you're not getting the results that you want. And then what happens is that instead of tracking our results, we pull back and go, no, I don't get any business off of social media. And it may be because you're not doing any one of the four things that we just talked about above this. So that's kind of my marketing piece. You guys, I'm going to give you a little teaser. Since this is such a big topic and I want to give Danielle most of our time here today, I'm going to be doing some marketing workshops coming up where it's just going to be focused on a lot of marketing opportunities for you, not just the tools that are in the toolbox, but, ways to go about it. What maybe your focus needs to be, how to help you with it. And because Danielle is not only kind of like has her own consulting company called Mesh Consulting, she also saw that there was a need for people to be able to get the support in marketing and through Canva, through creating really sharp, eye-catching images on Canva. So she created this salon social media shop as well. And she'll tell you more about that as we progress, because she delivers like monthly specific Canva templates to make our lives easier. And I don't have to think through as much of what I need to do. I can just use the templates that Danielle's provided through Salon Social Media Shop and make my marketing work for that. So I'm going to turn it over to Danielle and go off a share screen here a little bit. Before I do that, this is, you guys, how you can get the guide, the Recession Proof Your Salon guide. Go to www.recessionproofyoursalon.com. And that's how you can download the guide and follow along with me. And of course, we've got 2 more, mindset and education, coming up before we close out this 5-part series. But now I'm going to turn it over to Miss Danielle Hildreth, and she's going to share with you the importance of everything under the social media umbrella. Now, last week we did do a little, hi Danielle, welcome.
Yay, how are you?
Good. So last week we did a little touch base because I was going to have Danielle on as a guest. And so, we set up like a half hour of time to be able to talk about what the podcast was going to be about. And then 90 minutes later, she's teaching me how to do a reel. She's sharing with me some tips and tricks on Canva that I didn't know. And as soon as I got off the phone with her, and her spending that much time with me was so gracious, I ended up going like, okay, if I don't apply this right now, I'm going to forget how to do it. So I immediately went into Canva And I already had some images on my phone, so I was able to convert them into Canva, and I created my very first reel. And I know it sounds silly, you guys, but seriously, even with the knowledge that I think that we all have in certain areas or where we call ourselves expert, there's always something to learn, especially in this category, right? You would agree with that, right, Danielle?
Absolutely. And
So what
even
do I
if
get to
you,
learn today? And what does everyone else get to learn from you today? Because I'm excited to make these things easier.
yes, it is definitely a constant learning curve with social media because it's constantly changing and there's always something new coming up and things like that. So don't feel bad if you're thinking, oh, I don't know, or I'm out of touch, or oh, I haven't ever done that. Well, guess what? You're not alone. And there'll be something new coming up in, 3 to 6 months. So it is kind of the nature of the beast is you have to kind of have this curiosity and want to continue to learn. But it doesn't mean to say that you can't find something that kind of works for you and put it on repeat and keep doing it. Like that is probably the smartest thing that you could start to do is if it's working for you, then keep doing it. But I know I just want to say too, all the things that, Bonnie went over, she's such a wealth of knowledge when it comes to marketing and the experiences that she's had and the stuff she brings to the table. And what makes social media easy is doing all of those things that she already just mentioned. When you have done those things and you have a strategy and you've thought about what you want for your business and you've looked at your numbers in your operations, that's what makes social easy. It's when you haven't done that and you sit and go, what am I going to post? What should I do? What should I say? Then it's difficult, right? But when you've done the work, you like with somebody like Bonnie, you've done the work to then it makes it much more clear and you can move forward then with the actual tasks and things that you do on social media.
So true. Oh my gosh, that's so true. So I know people want to plan out what they do on social media. So give us whatever the guidelines are that you're going to go with here of how we can learn to be more consistent, how we can, I think we all think we need to be fancy videographers and that the only thing we should be doing is reels or stories right now. And then I think what happens is that we lose that coverage and that ground in other areas of being able to keep our business kind of, in the presence of the community.
Yeah, I think that, I always say first start with, it's just like if you were going to have a party, if you're going to have house guests, you get your house ready. So I think before you start worrying about all the things you're going to post and what you're going to push out on social, that first let's look at your, I particularly like Instagram is my favorite. And I think it's a great one for the salon and beauty industry because it's very visual, right? So, but what is your bio? What story is it telling about you? So I encourage everybody to take a look at their bio, give themselves a bio audit, right? So nobody does things exactly the same way that you do. Yes, other people cut hair. Yes, other people color hair, but there's ways that you do it. There's the experience that you offer. All of those things play a role. So how is that told and related to in your bio? So what is it saying about you? What is your story? I would start with seeing ways that you can add that. Now you only have 150 characters, so it's got to be brief and you've got to be able to do it, pretty quickly. The other thing to think about is keywords. So going back to that strategy, what type of salon are you? What's the vibe? Is it boho? Is it, classic? Is it luxury? Is it, hey, all are welcome here? What is the vibe of your salon? And make sure that that comes through. And you can do that also with keywords and then think about what it is you want to provide. Are you a color specialist? Are you a balayage expert, a blonde expert? Do you want to do a lot more bridal? Do you want to do, are you shortcuts? People will travel for somebody who is an expert with bobs, short hair, shortcuts, those kinds of things. So
curly hair. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Curly hair. So what is it? Make sure that you have those keywords in there. So again, that's part of telling your story. And then also know that you can put handles in there that actually link out. So if it's your personal account or your own business account, but maybe you know, want to add, maybe you work for a bigger salon or vice versa. If you have the salon and you want to target some specific brands or, you know, like manufacturers, or you want, maybe your salon that has 4 or 5 stylists, maybe you want to put their handles actually in the bio and it will link to them. So know that you can use the @ symbol and actually link out to something. And hashtags will also link out of your bio. So make sure that you have, if there's any branded hashtags that you have for your salon, have it in there. So, you know, if it's just Intrigue Salon, if it's just, you know, Big Beauties, or, you know, like there's lots of different things that people are coming up with that they're encouraging their customers to use, stylists to use. So put that hashtag in there. People can click on it and then see a little bit more of what you're about by even what your customers are saying. And then also don't forget you have a link, one external link in that bio. So you can link that out to, people use things like Linktree is probably one of the most common. Bonnie has a Linktree in hers. You can find out all about all the things that she has going on and what she's offering. And it's just, instead of then just having one place that you can send people, you click on it and then it has all these options, right? Here's all the ways that you can find Bonnie. And Bonnie, you know, you can go to her website, you can go to her podcast, you can go, you know, maybe she has a free download or whatnot. But you can do that for your salon too. So you can have, here's how to book, here is retail, here is, you know, a link to maybe it's a sale that you're having, maybe, you know, whatnot. You can link it back to really anywhere. So to think about kind of what you have going on and what you want to link to. You can do this in Linktree. I created mine in Canva, but you get one link. So it's giving yourself multiple links with just one link. And I encourage everybody to do that, especially if you have more than one business. I've seen a lot of stylists that will have, maybe they also sell, I don't know, Young Living essential oils. So maybe they have other, you know, businesses or things that they do besides just hair. So they can have those other links in one thing.
Yeah, if they're an affiliate for a company that, you know, then that would be their affiliate link that they would put in. Yeah,
exactly. A lot of people have like affiliate brands and, you know, sometimes it's, you know, drop, ship, retail, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this was like part of our conversation last week, you guys. And even though I know how to do this with my coaching business, right? So I'm doing all these things in my coaching business because, you know, it makes sense. And, you know, I'm part of some good coaching communities and everything. But all of a sudden when Danielle told me, well, you don't have, you kind of don't have links in your bio or a strong bio link to be able to help your customers to be able to access what you're sharing with them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't. So it didn't even occur to me that I had that particular part of our salon bio incomplete. So I'm working on that, and I'm going to do it through the Canva page, as you suggested, instead of Linktree. And because in a Canva page, that's a PDF, you can have hyperlinks built into it that when people then open up that Canva page, they can just click on those hyperlinks and it'll take them to, you know, our online booking. It'll take them to, you know, if they want to maybe go to, you know, our career page and possibly come work for us. So these were all things that, again, it's like, I know some of these things from one side of my business, but all of a sudden when I'm converting it over to another side of what I do, what my role is in the salon, I'm like, oh, that's so silly that I did not complete that. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, one of the things, also a great tip I've seen people use is if they do it in Canva, they've also sent people, I mean, I guess you could do it in Linktree too. Whatever that link is, people will DM it, people will text it. So rather than just sending you the link to my website, I'm sending you, here's this little mini website that then has everything you need to know about me and all of the things that I'm currently offering. So yeah, I've seen that too.
A landing page that kind of gives them more of everything in one place so you can maximize a link. And then all of those can be hyperlinked.
Exactly. And then one thing I always recommend, you know, this is kind of marketing and the same thing, Bonnie, like we know, like you and I have taught marketing and we know you got to have a CTA, a call to action, but then sometimes, we forget. So I'm reminding you all, have a call to action in your bio. What is it you want people to do after they read it? Do you want them to join your email list? Do you want them to visit your website? What do you want them to do? Do you want them to, look at how to take care of your hair and, deal with all the damage you did all summer, and you have a nice how-to list? I don't know. There's lots of things that you could have that maybe you want them to actually do. So some sort of call to action at the end of your bio. And a lot of people, you will see, they'll do this, and maybe their call to action is to click on the link. So, they have a little thing and they have an arrow, like follow me, download, book an appointment, whatever, and it's an arrow. So that would be the last thing. And then I would say once you have your bio ready, once you have your Instagram bio, and you can do a lot of these same things in Facebook too. So check out your Facebook bio. I feel like, people have to click on the about and really read about you. And Facebook is a little bit different because you can put, your work history and it's got a little bit of a different vibe, but I would make sure that they, match. If you're going to do all this work to figure out what you want to write, make sure that they're similar and telling the same story.
Yeah, true.
But I think once you get, your house ready, you're ready for the party. Now you can go and do the social things that are hopefully driving people to that page. And of course, in Instagram, Bonnie, you already said it, it's Reels. Instagram are you ready? Did you know Reels are 2 years old?
Oh, God. And I've only done my first one last week. Now I know that my virtual assistant, so you guys, from my coaching business, I do have a virtual assistant, and I know that she's taken, part of my marketing strategy and some of the marketing posts that I've been doing, and she has converted them into Reels herself. But, I just kind of left that up to her to do it. But I actually did my first Reel last week, and it was fun. It was fun, kind of like piecing together this, this story that I wanted to share in like 20 seconds. And if you think about it from, like TV commercials can last anywhere from 10 seconds. Sometimes they're a minute long, which seems like so long. Most of them probably average around that 30-second mark. If, like big advertisers are doing 30-second commercials type of thing. It's kind of the same thing that we're doing. We're just creating little mini commercials that, provide that brand identity that we have, and, cater to those clients that might be looking for the type of things that we're saying we specialize in.
Exactly. And Bonnie, Reels are actually the most time you can do a Reel for is 90 seconds. So a minute and a half, that's the max. And
that's a long
I would
one.
say, I would say most are a minute. And that's what Reels originally started with. It started with like 12, 15 seconds when it first came out. And then it moved to a minute. And then Reels is actually, if you didn't know, it's to help Instagram, which Instagram and Facebook are owned by the same company, if you didn't know. And now it's a big company called Meta, META. And it's this whole nother level of social. It's like going to a whole nother, I don't even understand all of it. I think I get it. And then I'm like, wait, I don't get it. But anyway, you'll have to look up Meta if you're curious. But it is now competing with TikTok, right? So Reels came out to compete with TikTok, which has all of these, it's video production without a doubt. And it is all of these fun transitions and filters and effects and ways to do things with other people. And that's what TikTok was all about. And you saw a lot of young, my kids, I have teenagers, they're on it and becoming a creator. Like they are officially have grown up being some sort of visual creator. And it could be their own selfies. And when you think about it, my children they only know life with a mobile phone. So they don't know anything else. They only know life with apps. So it is to compete with that. So that's why Reels has then become the big push also with Instagram. Instagram has not been shy to say, we are becoming a video platform. It was very much about the visual image, right? It was so pretty. It was like kind of like Pinterest, and everything was an image and beautiful. And now they've said, no, we're becoming video. So now we're competing with TikTok. We're competing with YouTube. This is kind of what we're doing. And so now you can have 90 seconds because TikTok, you can have up to 2 minutes. Again, it is a way for you to be seen. So the way that I like to explain, if you looked at your Instagram, you have your feed, you have your stories, little circle, right? And you have your stories that are only 24 hours. And then you have your reels. And any video now that you upload, you'll get a warning that says, so if it's a video and it's just a square, you know, like you were going to put it on your feed post, it will say this is going to be a reel, because anything that is video will now fall under that reel category on Instagram. So you might as well make the formatting big, tall.
And when you say video, it could also represent anything animated, because animation goes into an MP4 file and they consider that to be a video. So we need to now size any of these animations and or videos in a real format, so that they look better and they fit better.
Exactly.
Okay.
And a reel is the same format as Instagram stories.
Right.
So they are the same format. And that's one thing I will say that I love about Canva, is one of the reasons I started using it over 5 years ago is I was managing social media for a couple of different businesses. And one of them was a hair care distributor. And they, you know, I'm not a graphic design by trade, but I love graphic design and I love working with graphic designers. But I wasn't by trade. So Canva was that bridge for me. It was, all the templates were there, you know, like all the formatting was done. Do I want it to be a Tumblr banner? Do I want it to be a Facebook banner? Do I want it to be an Instagram story? Do I want it to be an Instagram feed? Do I want, you name it, it's on there, you guys. So, and they just continued to expand over the 5 years. So that was the number one reason, is the formatting was done. You had design templates that were already created by graphic designers. So if you're sitting in a salon and you can't afford a graphic designer, or you want more control, you don't want to hire somebody to do something and then have to make a change and you hire them back just to make this one little change, Canva might be a really great option for you to create not only social media, but you can create menus and signs and, you know, anything and everything, big posters, you can order print through them. Really, you can do a lot.
Their print products are very high quality and really well done. So, you know, and they do a good job of making sure that that's all fitting. So Canva as a company was like a lifesaver for small businesses, a lifesaver.
Yes.
So, and there's a bit of a learning curve to it, but honestly, once you kind of, you know, can really get in the groove of finding the template you want, making sure that your messaging is good. I mean, I think that we all struggle a little bit with copywriting. You know, what do I say? How do I say it? You know, how do I condense what I want to say into just a few short words or phrases in order to make, you know, a post or a reel powerful? So, you know, the copywriting piece, but that comes in time. You start to learn what works and what doesn't work. But, you know, to have Canva as a tool in my toolbox is unbelievable and very inexpensive on top of that. They even have a free version, but, you know, it's worth it to just go into the pro version so that you can have access to more features for sure.
Yeah, I like to look at too, in case you guys are wondering, you know, like on Instagram, well, what should I do? So I've told you, you know, you should update your bio, give yourself a little audit, make sure you're ready for everybody to come. And then Reels is definitely seeing the most engagement, the most activity. And the way I like to explain it is, if you're posting in your feed, which most people just, you know, when you create your reel, it also then you have the option to say, yes, show it in my feed. So it does show up also on your page, you know. So I like to look at it as your little mini website, right? Like people then, well, let me find out about this Bonnie. Well, what is she up to? Well, I'm going to go, and then I found her. She's come to me somehow through social media. And now I'm going to go, well, let me go look at her Instagram. We all do this with restaurants. You want to see a restaurant, you want to go see what food they're offering, what it looks like. And, you know, don't think that people don't do this about salons too. They find a stylist who's posted some amazing post about hair, and then they're like, well, let me see, what salon do they work out? Let me look at the salon. Well, where is it? You know, is it geographically going to work for me? And then secondly, well, what's the salon like? What's the vibe? Let me see. This is how people find things on social media and search now. They're no longer, radio, TV, magazines.
No, I mean,
It's
and
this.
all of those are still important elements depending on, how your business is positioned, whether your business is low cost and or high end luxury. There's variables in that. If you do still continue to do print or, other type of advertising in there, it all makes sense. It's a part of the bigger package but a lot can be done, via social media. Instagram is continuing to be kind of like the winner. We know a lot of our clients are on Facebook, so we do, alter and transfer and sometimes do different stuff on Facebook that it just becomes more user friendly and informational, not necessarily as artistic as to what we do on Instagram. And part of what this is part of the challenge, I think, that we're up against as a big salon. And I'm sure, Danielle, that some of your other clients can relate to this. And then maybe those of us that are online, let's see who's online. Oh, hi, Dana. Hi, John. Yeah. So, Dana, this would probably definitely connect with you as well. Our stylists are so busy, and they're not really into the pictures and the reels and all of this stuff on social media. They're busy stylists, and for them, they don't need it to be business building, but some of them do it just enough to be able to keep themselves relevant and accessible so people can find them in a sense. But we don't have expectations in our salon of people having to do certain amount of social media posts and stuff like that. We encourage them to do it on their own pages, and then I look for @ and hashtag ways to be able to then share it on our page, to be able to make that connection. And because at this point, them being busy, they don't really have time to be like, oh, hold on, let's go over here, to the ring light and take a couple pictures of you. They've got a client waiting and another one showing up in, 45 minutes type of thing. So they're not as good about it. But if they do it, I take the responsibility of then being able to look how to share it onto our business pages and make it work for us that way. So there's always some content that's available. And then of course I plan out other content that just makes sense based on our brand identity and the product lines that we carry and the looks that we cater to.
Bonnie, you say a really good point is, what's your goal on social media? And not everybody is looking to continue to build their chair, right? Some people are very happy with the amount of people they have in their chair and their business and where they're at. One of the things that I look at, and also depending on your guests that you have, is social part of the experience. So I think you'd be surprised at how many of your guests might be ecstatic to be featured on your salon page. So some of it is about that too. It's not necessarily showing off your work, it's building that relationship. It's surprising them, recognizing them. And that might have a different vibe or a different feel, than just the, I don't know, hair and the hair.
The back of the head.
It might have a different, yeah, exactly. It might have a different
the client
vibe.
never sees the back of their head unless you're posting the back of the head for them.
Exactly, right? So it might have a different vibe. I mean, I just did with Goldwell New York, the company that I manage their social media. They just had a contest, and it's really funny. We had all these thumbnails of everybody who entered. You had to enter via social media. And so we have like these, I don't know, 70 little images, right, of thumbnails. And everybody was looking at it. It's going to be in a print piece that they're doing. And because again, they know that yes, people are on social, but not everybody's on social. So they're also putting it in print in the catalog with all their promo and things that go out. And there is three out of 70 that are, you can see somebody's face.
Oh, interesting.
And you know how much they stand out?
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, And they're like, well, why can we see their faces? And I'm like, that's the exact reason, is because they stand out because they're a little bit different, right? It's kind of like that disruptor type of scenario. So I would say, think of it also, if you have to build your chair, as social. It's just a really fun. And that's the part, is if it's, you're thinking like it's work, like, oh, I forgot the before. Oh, I got to go get the after.
Oh, always. We
Think of
always
it-
forget the before.
right? So think of more about fun and having fun with the person that's sitting in your chair. And hey, would you like to do this? And this is where I think some people are being really successful with reels, is they're going through reels and they're looking at these original audios that are fun things to say, that are, like about being beautiful, or about feeling good, or about, it's a happy day, I got my hair done, fun little audio things or music. And they're saying, hey, I saw this, would you want to do this with me? And would we create this? And I think you'd be surprised, it's not just younger demographic that is interested. It's really cute. We just did a photo shoot showing how to use gold wall color and whatnot, and we did this photo shoot, and the stylist had her mother in it. Can I just tell you, we created a reel, spun her, we did this spinning around in the chair. So she is before and she spins, but then we did an after, where so the halfway around it's showing her after in the chair. So it's really cute, right? And then we show the process of how it happened. Do you know how proud she was of that video?
I bet.
And how many of her friends she shared with? And, of course, some of it is being texted to her and then here, share this. But she was ecstatic. And then do you know how many references, like, oh my gosh, that's so great. And that's your daughter. And what salon is it? And it just builds a very positive image, and I think that, so I don't underestimate that it doesn't have to be just about business building. You could have a
And I
completely
love
different
that-
strategy.
Yes. And I love that you said that. And it does kind of go back to the one thing that, you had a planned photo shoot, you had a planned agenda, you created a strategy of what you wanted it to look like and how you wanted it to be in the end. And that does require some time. I mean, sometimes we can have these random moments show up and be like, oh my God, this was like unbelievable. But most of it needs to be planned. So
Yes.
and
Like,
that's the part that I think is that catch-22 that we get with it, in regards to that. So Danielle, if you will please, honor us in our last couple of minutes here. Will you just kind of take us through, like, 1, 2, 3 steps of the reel process? Because, I know that the circle, we find the stories, and obviously the plus sign is the post. But I think there's probably some people, and I was one of them for the longest time, I didn't even know how to access a reel. Like, what was the icon for me to start the reel process?
well, let me tell all people that if you use Instagram, like on your desktop or whatnot, Reels is a mobile thing. So you have to be on your phone, and you go to the plus sign, and now you have all of these options. Do you want to create a reel? Do you want to create a story? Do you want to go live? Do you want to, right? You have all these options. So you will hit the plus sign, you'll click the reel, and you will then start uploading from your camera roll. It can be a photo or a video. A lot of people think everything has to be video. It doesn't. You can upload photos, and you'll see people will be making fun of Instagram now. And you'll see a lot of people like just showing a video and then some text overlay, and or not a video, an image, just a photo with text overlay. And they're saying, Instagram says I have to make everything a reel now.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm doing. Here's my reel. So you see a lot of that, people poking fun. So what basically you do is you can upload, you can edit it, you can shrink it, you can make it different timing. You can then put them all together, right? So let's say you have 5 photos, you can make them all 1 to 2 seconds each. You can pick audio that goes with it. This is what takes a lot of the time, is people are, editing exactly the timing. They're going through the audio, and now they're scrolling through what Instagram offers and listening to 20 plus songs to find the perfect one. And so then you get done, you can add a filter, which everybody likes, and then you can hit done and share. You still write a caption, you can still tag people, you can still choose a location. So if your salon, always make sure that if stylists are creating them, that they're choosing your location at least so people know where it's happening. And then you hit share to your Instagram. You also, one of the things that do not forget, when you get in there at the very end, it will have a big image and it will say, you know, your cover photo. So your cover photo, you can scroll through your reel to see where you want, what you want to be the cover, or you can upload an image also, so that when you see people in their
image that pops up before the reel starts.
Yes.
Okay.
And then also one of the options is then it says profile grid. So you can also click on that and you can resize what it will look like as it becomes square.
And add it to your profile.
Yeah.
So now you're keeping your profile feed updated and active, but it's coming off of a real image.
Exactly.
Shot of it.
And I know a lot of this can seem overwhelming. And I was talking to Bonnie, I take it for granted because it is a lot of little steps. Once you do it a couple of times, you even forget some of the steps, you know, that you do. But when I start writing it out to explaining to people, I'm not going to lie, it's a lot of little steps. And some people that's really overwhelming. So that's why sometimes I really use Canva. So I will use Canva because I might already have, especially if I'm just using images, like Bonnie had said, you might have animated things, you might be creating graphics. You can take all of those and make them into a reel. The templates that we give out, we give them in feed size and story size. And you can take all of those in the story size and merge them together, duplicate them, download them as a video, and you have your reel. So you don't have to do a lot of extra work. So when you get into Instagram, you don't have to do the timing. You don't have to do all of that. You do have to still find some audio.
Just posting it as a real video and pushing it out. Yeah.
Exactly.
I am not, I'm not of the generation that we did all this stuff on our phones and, like I have to have 5 different kinds of glasses on me to, make all that happen on my phone. So I do like doing it through Canva. It's just that extra step of now my images that are on my phone, I need to upload into Canva. But then once I have all that in Canva, I feel like, I've got everything in front of me to be able to kind of master it a little easier, to be able to do that. Now, how does the music then get, put into it? Is once you put it back in, once you put it out as a reel, then you choose the music from Instagram?
You could do it 2 ways. So if you're creating your reel in Canva, you can create audio. If you have the pro version, you're getting audio that already has, the copyright's already taken care of. It's things that you can use and you can upload it as is. I will be honest, I think Instagram has maybe more fun, trendy, relevant. Yeah. So it just depends. If you want, just instrumental music in the back or things like that, I have taken, for example, a graphic. Maybe you wanted to do a how-to, how to do this with your hair, how to use this tool, and then you're going to sell that, beach waver, the beach waver things, right? So maybe you do a tutorial on that, and I will put it in there, find some quick music because I'm just going to dull it anyway. And then when I upload it into Instagram, not to blow anybody's mind, but you can do a voiceover. So then I can take that I've already created in Canva, upload it as a video, and now I'm going to just add a voiceover, which is me then telling them what I'm doing. I've seen stylists do this a lot.
That's brilliant.
So they might do, they may have in your camera roll, you might already have video and images on a process, and somebody's got all these foils in their hair, and then you're taking them out in the sink, and then you're styling or whatever. You might have a lot of content that you can already use in your camera roll, and then you just do a voiceover.
So voiceover is an option under the audio in Instagram.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. I love the idea of that too. That's perfect.
Yeah. And so I would say, as far as Canva, the difference is like what we'll do in the templates, because I know audio is a big time suck for a lot of people, is we will already time, like we have a Reels bundle that we have six Reels that you could go and create right now. And they are with some trending audio that has been on Instagram. And you know how people do where the image just switches just perfectly. Mm-hmm. Well, we've timed it already out. So there's one that's a remote click, like the remote click, 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 click. And we've already timed it out. It takes 20 images, upload 20 images. Maybe it's your one client that you've known for years, and maybe it's 20 images of what their hair has gone through. Maybe it's 20 blondes, all these different types of blondes, whatever you want the story to be. You can reuse it multiple times. And we give you a link to that audio in Instagram. So you click on that link, you save the audio in Instagram. So then when you upload the video from Canva to Instagram, your audio is ready in there. So you don't have to go searching for it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Tell us, will you tell us how to be able to, how people can access the salon social media shop?
Yeah, so I mean, the easiest way is to go to our Instagram at Salon Social Media Shop and have a link there that will talk about the different membership options. So we have monthly membership, we have annual membership. I have the Reels bundle, which is more of a one-time purchase. We have some new bundles that are going to be coming out in the next month. So that if you just wanted to give it a try, I obviously encourage you all. We have a freebies tab. So if you go to our Instagram, click on the link in the bio and click on freebies, try some templates. Try Canva. You can start with a free account, see if it's something that's going to be a great tool for you to have in your toolbox and see how it goes. And then if you like it, the monthly membership is that we then deliver you things that are relevant based on the season and trends. And every month we're sending you exactly what you need. I just posted this morning a couple of templates on national holidays. So we always include some in there. It's an easy thing for you to post as a salon that keeps you on trend. That, hey, I
when you're like, I don't know what to post. Yeah,
exactly. So, and you can have fun with them. So I just posted a reel about that. So that would be the easiest way for you to kind of find. And then there's the website. You can learn more on that. And I'm always checking that. So feel free to DM, send a message in Instagram and let me know if you have any questions, and I am happy to help. I'm a big lover of Canva. Even if you go on and just start with the templates that they already have, but if you find yourself getting lost and spending way too much time doing that, then maybe it's time to think about something that's specific for your industry, like the Salon Social Media Shop.
Yeah, perfect. That's great. And also, you guys, I'll send a link too, because the Salon Social Media Shop as well is one of the affiliate offered opportunities that I share out with my clients, so that I can say, let's figure out how to make this easier. So I'll have some links for you as well in it. Now, this was part 3 of our 5-part series to how to recession-proof your salon. So Danielle shared with us today some great information of how to keep our salon relevant, because we don't want our clients not coming back to us. We don't want our clients, not being able to afford us, under these trying times right now. So we have to be able to figure out ways to be able to keep us, in the forefront of them, to say, fall's coming, it's time maybe for a new look, or a little bit of a different tone, or, a different feel to the hair, coming off of summertime. I know a lot of people like to darken it up going into the winter time. So find ways to be able to keep things relevant like that. And of course, social media is a great way to be able to do that. So Danielle, thank you. That was a wealth of information. I learned a few more things today. Very excited. I'm going to go in, and I know my bio is pretty solid on my coaching company, the SOS Salon coaching company, but I'm going to go into our Intrigue Salon, my other life, and clean up that bio, because I know that one's a little out of sorts there. And then I'm going to be back in the salon tomorrow, and I'm going to snap some pictures that I'm going to convert into a reel. I don't know what that is yet, because something exciting might show up, or I might just do it based on some of the activities and action that's going on in the salon. And I'm going to create a reel tomorrow for the salon and continue to keep practicing. And then I'm going to plan out reels with my team that make sense and cater to our culture and our brand moving forward, so that we can continue to have our brand out there and relevant to our community.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I know I get very excited. So, I like social media, and, Instagram's kind of my jam, and I just really love Canva. So I always encourage people that if they need some design help, that it is a really great tool. And let me know if you have any questions. And Bonnie, I can't wait to see what you create.
Oh yeah. And you guys, again, I did a little teaser on the front end of, Danielle's going to be joining us in some workshop type programming coming up this fall and everything, where we can get down and dirty, like pull out your phone, click here, upload your photo. Like sometimes we need the how-tos in order to feel comfortable accessing this learning curve on all the new things and the fun things that social media has to offer. So she's going to be able to help us out with that. We've got like reels is one of the topics that we talked about, because if that's what we need to be doing, then let's get really comfortable doing it. So stay tuned. I'll have more information for that coming this fall. But again, thank you for joining us. You guys always thank you for joining us. Next week, we're going into mindset. So we're going to kind of take a dip out of the sales operations and marketing little world. And we're going to just say, okay, now let's step back and say, where's your business at and how do you want to move it forward so we can close out this year very powerful. So we're going to do a little mindset exercise next week. And then we'll close off this 5-part series with education. What do you need to learn? What does your team need to learn? What are some things your clients want to learn, and how maybe we can convert those into reels? Yeah.
Yeah. I think that sounds great.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks you guys for always joining me. I look forward to seeing you again. And thanks everybody that joined me live. Jessica, Brad, TC, Dana, John. There's a few more names on there that got floated away here. But thanks you guys for joining me as well. I look forward, hopefully we'll see you again soon. Danielle, look forward to more in the very near future.
Sounds great. Have a great day.